Welcome back, and let's take a look at the New York standards. The state of New York recently has created a set of computer science standards. So in 2018, their legislature essentially passed a series of laws requiring their Board of Education to adopt and approve a set of computer science learning standards that would be utilized for the entire state. For this document, we're going to briefly kind of talk about those particular standards and how at Rex Academy we are essentially matching New York's vision with our own. So as they built their standards, New York considered the following guiding principles to develop their standards. So let's talk about them briefly. So equity and access, which we are simply talking about this idea that no matter where people live, they should have access to the same type of education. Interdisciplinary connections, so computer science should be embedded into various disciplines. Coherence, and that is we focus on the various knowledge and skills that all students must demonstrate. And then relevance and engagement, meaning empowering students with actual real-world challenges and not just arbitrary tasks. As such, they have built the 5 core computer science concepts. Now, this is very similar to what the other states have, but they have reworked it, and they're a bit different from your typical CSTA outline. So, impacts of computing. This is where we want to look into society, ethics, and accessibility of computer science. Computational thinker, this is the big one. This contains algorithms, programming, data analysis, abstraction, modeling. Third one is network systems and design. So this is hardware and software, and of course networks and the internet. So in New York, cybersecurity, they've created a concept all on its own. So in other states, this is an embedded sub-concept, but for New York, this is kind of at the forefront. So we want to look at the risks, the safeguards, and responses when coming to cybersecurity. And finally, digital literacy. So this is everything from digital citizenship and learning how to be safe online. Now, in addition, New York has also set the following digital fluency standards for all learners. So what that means is that going back to the equity piece, New York does not simply want computer science available only to those who can afford it, but we want to have proper equity in digital education so that all students can pursue things. That includes English language learners, so ELLs, which according to statistics are about 20% of the school-age population in New York. Students with disabilities, so any student with an IEP must be considered and supported. And early learning, this is a critical part that Rex also believes in, that to get students, especially minorities and women, involved in computer science, you've got to do it early. You cannot wait until high school. So one of the issues New York is having, like many other states, is they have staff shortages. So currently, it does not have a computer science requirement in high school, meaning high schools are not required to offer any computer science courses. So this is something surely the state must address. Now, to cover the standards that New York set, these are the courses that Rex Academy recommends. For digital literacy, Computer Science 1 is excellent, and then the rest you can kind of read on your own. And then for middle school, this is relatively consistent across the standards that they've written, as are the ones for elementary. And for pathways, this is a textbook pathway that we recommend for elementary and middle school, and ultimately high school, although remember, schools by no means have to stick to this verbatim. And finally, based on the courses we recommend, these are some of the certification exams that we can comfortably offer in New York. Okay, that's it for looking at computer science standards for New York.